Hello there, welcome back to... Oh no, I've got the wrong card. Right, can we do it again? Can we go again? Oh, can we not? Right, I'll put that one up there. See, look, I had the wrong one. I've got launch party. Let's put that up there. No one will know, right? No one will know. We'll start again. Hello, welcome back to Crafters TV. It is Monday, which means, of course, it is of Monday Makers. It is a fabulous lineup of products that we've got coming out for you as well in this show. We've got some recent launches. We have got some of your all-time favorites. We've got some core tools in the show. We have also got some machines in the show as well. And there's foiling. And when we've got foiling, there's one man that we think about, isn't there? Mr. Laird, and he is here with us this afternoon. How are you, Craig?
Good afternoon, or good morning, wherever you are. Happy Monday Makers Day, not lunch party. Just to say that, of course, we may have been gone over what is coming up tomorrow, but that's tomorrow. You don't want to know about that yet. We've got an incredible couple of hours lined up. We have got, as Joe said, some returning favourites. We've got the foil press. We're maybe going to be using something that's not that long come out, and we're going to be using it with the foil press. But throughout the full show, here's a couple of things that we could be making. So we have got our Aperture Diorama cards back. Now this may be something I'll be using with the foil press to show you, but that's the circle one, just using the paper pad on its own. But then we've got the fancy. So with this one, what you can start to do is use all the interchangeable. So what I'm just going to do is let's just open that one up so you can be actually looking into the diorama with all the layers. But then we have got our layering Christmas stamps that we've got here. This one has been the wreath. Then back into the foil press where we've got the solid sentiments. We've got that one there, thank you. There's a few other ones. And then with this one here, what we have got is the foil press, the ones that have got the stamp as well as the dies. So that is just a few things as to what we've got coming up, a few things that I'm going to be showing you over the next couple of hours.
Awesome, and it really is going to be a great show. Don't forget you can get involved with us very easily through all the usual ways, whether you are across on Facebook, on Crafters TV or on YouTube. I can see loads of you checking in and saying hi already. Linda is saying hi from Wisconsin, Fran's in from Pennsylvania, June's in from Scotland, Diana in Indiana, Ray, Jody, Evelyn, Mary, loads of you saying hello and letting us know that you are watching along. As we go through this show as well, a few of the bits that are on here, I know you guys have already received and been making beautiful things with, so I'd love to see any pictures or photos that you might have. You can send those to us, studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. We're going to look firstly at the Gemini interchangeable Aperture Diorama complete collection, and there you'll see it is absolutely all it. Well, it's not quite all of it. You're going to have a load of paper pads that we're going to add into there for you as well. Basically what you're getting in here is you're getting the ability to make two different concepts really in two different styles, and I'm going to explain exactly what I mean by that. So you've got these beautiful dioramas, but what you've got are two different sizes for them. So you have firstly got your fancy panels in there. You've also got the round ones. So you've got the ability to use them with your paper pads, or you've got the ability to use them with the interchangeable element as well. Let's start off with the fancy one, which I've got just here. Now I'm going to show you, this is your main die that you've got, the die that's going to do all the work for you, whether you are using it with a paper pad or whether you're using it with the interchangeable element. So that is your main fancy die. And what you can do is, in its simplest form, you can overlay that over the paper pad that comes with it in this collection, and you can then make beautiful diorama in a lot of different styles and colors as well. So if you don't want to have to think about what sort of colorway you're going to go for, you just want it all done for you basically, that's what you're going to use. You're going to use those two elements together firstly. Then what you've got the ability to do as well, and of course you're all going to mix and match together so well, is then got the ability to bring in these interchangeable elements. So this one here is your birthday interchangeable fancy panel. You've then got this one here. Now this is your garden interchangeable fancy panel. And then finally, you've then got your home interchangeable fancy panel as well. And I'll show you what that looks like with some of the samples that I've got just down here. So if you're just using it with a paper pad, then this is the kind of thing that you're going to be creating. You can see there, that's just the paper pad that you've got there. What you've then got as well is then, let me show you some of those other different ways that you've got of using it. So you can see there, you have got your thank you one there. You've also then got your birthday in there as well. And there's loads of different ways of using all the interchangeable panels. So that is your fancy one that you've got there. Now that is not the only option that you are getting, because you are then also going to get the circle, and the circle's going to work in exactly the same way. So what you've got is your circle main die that will overlay against the pad that you're also getting included as well. And then what you'll have is your interchangeable elements. These ones are absolutely gorgeous. So you've got the lovebirds there. You've then also got as well the butterflies in there too. And then finally, you're getting that woodland one in there also. So that's what you'll get included. You're then also going to get the 4 brand new embossing folders that you've got, and they have been styled to go with each one of your collections. And you're also getting as well, this is amazing, this is one of our brand new pastel textured cardstock paper pads. This is 300 GSM, this cardstock here, so it's really great to allow you to construct using all of the dies that you've got included in there as well. If you want to go for this, £132 or $175. However, a third of the stock has already sold out and gone. If you are a platinum member, £105.60 will be your price today, 75 pence per element. Now, when we, Craig and I presented this last time, we were talking about, weren't we, Craig, the versatility and the amount of different ways you can use every single one of these. I don't know where Craig's gone. I can't see him. I think he's had enough. I think he's left the studio.
Hi.
Hello.
Yes, so I've done this on Saturday night. This is using the fancy now. This one is using the fancy aperture. So this die here, you've got your 3 dies. It just creates a concept. Just using these 3 here, this is all the different configurations that you can actually use. So you've obviously got what would have been the waster outer piece, got the main panel, you can do your aperture, you can use the center aperture on its own, then you can use the decorative without the center, do the decorative with the center, just the decorative on its own, decorative with the center taken out. However, use it to emboss as well. Or what about the foil press? Now, I don't know if we can quite see that one. This is all of the detail that has then been foiled onto cardstock. So keeping in mind, this is just using the fancy. You could then do that again with the circle, but also, if I move that one out the way, this board here, which I've done, that is just using that die there. So that's one of the interchangeables. So that's just using that one. That's the different ways. Of course, it's going to work within your actual diorama die. However, if you want to use it on its own, that is just using this one alone. Keeping in mind, from that set, you've also got the sentiment as well as that one just there, and then you've got all the other ones as well. So that's what I meant by there's so many different ways that you could use it. I originally was going to do it all, and it got to about 2 hours after just doing that board, and I thought this is going to take forever. So that's what we mean by when we said there's so many different configurations that you can use and do using just the one die set.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if you're not the most confident, the great thing is that you've got the pads which will allow you to overlay the dies. That's a great starting point for you. And then as you build that confidence, you can then work into using those interchangeable elements, play around with the different kinds of materials that you're using, from anything from acetate to craft card, glitter card. There's just so many different options with this. It's a great price. Now, if you did just want to, I know last time when we launched this, myself and Craig, the embossing folders on their own, they are available and they work standalone. You can use them as you would all of your other embossing folders. There's 4 of them here in this collection. They are 6x6. You've got set in stone, brick layers, spring forest and trellis swirls. You've got a 20% saving when you get them there. $15.50 or $22, which is really great value there. There will be some foiling coming up a little bit later in this show, and we have got a fabulous deal on these foil stamped dies. What I love about these ones is that there is loads of foil. Whereas a lot of the time, maybe they're a little bit more intricate, they're a lot more sort of detailed. These are like all the foil, which I love. $38.97 or $44.97 if you want to get them. They are available individually as well if you want to get them like that. So you've got Celebrate, you also have Happy Birthday, there is Thank You Very Much, and also especially for you, for all those Kylie and Jason fans out there. We do have another collection available for you as well, which are our radiating foil stamp and cut dies, these ones. Always popular. Check out that saving. It is a half price deal. You are saving as much as you're spending. Wonderful price here, $29.98 or $39.90 to get 4 brand new foil stamp and cut dies. And I like these because they are really super modern, really awesome. Right, we've also got a fantastic deal for you on the foil press, which is ever popular. It's such an incredibly popular machine. $99.99 or $139.95 if you want to get your hands on that today. We've also got as well all of the different accessories available for you which go with that also. This is your Monday mega deal, $18.74 or $14.96, cheaper in the US than it is in the UK. $14.96, that's a quarter off, but it only holds for 24 hours because it is of course our Monday mega deal. Is that your one that you've got over there, Craig?
I've got my one here, and trust me, this is nothing compared to Debbie Robinson's, let me tell you. So with my one here, so I like to have my core nesting dies. So I've got my core nesting dies in this side just here. Then at this part, I've got my adhesives, my tape runner. I've also got my glue gel. We've also got my die release tool. But then running along, all the way along just here, I've got all my scissors. I've got my craft knife. I've got my spritzer tool. I've got my brushes. I've got my score tool, I've got my pens, I've got my quilling tool, and then if I go around this side, what I've got is I've even got my Gemini Mini in this side just here. I've got some extra folders. I've got my craft iron that I use for the flower forming, maybe coming up in the next couple of weeks. I've got some inks that we've got here. I've got more just blending tools for the inks just down at the bottom on there, and I've not even started to fill my other compartments. I've got a couple of my tweezers just there, but it absolutely holds loads and loads. As you can see here, nice handle as well. It's all nicely stitched, and to be honest with you, even although we've got the purple roses, the purple flowers, because it's the grey, it's, let's just say, you know, I feel quite proud walking about if I'm out about with, not that obviously I walk out in the high street with this one, but it's really functional and it's actually quite stylish, and I actually think so even for the guys. It's, it's white-proof inside as well.
Awesome. Do grab it. As I said, it's a Monday mega deal, so it'll only last for 24 hours, which means you must get it very quickly. Jan Roberts says, hello, Joe and Craig from the beautiful state of Michigan. Alison saying, the diorama cards look amazing. Terry saying that she got the collection. She thinks her favourite collection so far. If you've been making things with it, Terry Sue, please send us in some pickies of that. Toffee is saying as well, I'm so excited about this show. And Sheila saying how brilliant that the diorama folds flat for storage. Now, talking about the interchangeable aperture diorama collection, of the whole collection, which is, let's face it, everything you can see just here, 40% of that has gone, and already a lot of you have jumped to the web and popped it in your basket. I'm going to level with you. I think it's going to sell out, and I think it's going to sell out maybe even in the first hour. I know, fighting talk, right? But it is that busy. We're having such an incredibly busy day today as well. Carlotta saying how much she loves that tote. Right, Craig, over to you. What do you fancy sharing with us first?
Right, so I'm going to show you a few samples. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be focusing on the fancy diorama. Now, keeping in mind, as Joe went over everything, you know, if you go for the big bundle, you get the paper pad and that as well. Once the paper pad's gone, you can use their normal cardstock. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to use the diorama, fancy edge diorama, to create a bit of a Halloween card, just to show you how you can actually use it for all occasions. But let's just show you a few ideas first. So this one is not using any of the interchangeable dies. So that's just going through all the way. You can see they're using paper pad as well as additional papers. This one is using the interchangeable. Now this is the one we're going to be using with this design in the background, but we're going to make it a bit more Halloween. And then there's another one with the interchangeable, only using the the front one, which is the birthday wishes. So that is the circle, or that's the fancy edge, and then with the circle, again, here's another one. So this one is not using any of the interchangeable centers. That's just using them as they are and using the paper pad. But then start to bring in your own colors. Look at that one, that deep ruby red with the white. Doesn't it look stunning? And it's used all three, the interchangeable, when it comes to the butterfly one. But then again, just by changing the color, it can go very autumn or winter, completely different. And then if I then just flick this one on, then hopefully you can just, there's a bit of a light coming through. I actually think maybe the batteries are on their way out, but you can see just there, there's a few different ways. Well, I say a few different ways, well, many different ways in which you can use them. So what we're going to do is we're going to create the actual concept of the apertures, but then again, we're going to decorate it so it's a bit more Halloween style.
You're going to do what I think you're going to do.
Are
you going to recreate a card that you might have shared a picture of on social media over the
Well, a couple of people think it's that one where I done Boo.
Yes.
It's not that one.
Oh, okay.
It's another one that I posted just before that one. But do you know something? I've had that many people saying, oh, you're doing Boo on Monday Makers. I'm like, no. So I might actually have to work it in with another show we've got coming up or do a Facebook Live on it because so many people have said, oh, I want to see that. So what we're going to do to start with is let's bring in our fancy aperture diorama. So this is the one that we're going to be using. Now, I've already just cut one back layer. That's all that I've just done, used that whole die on its own just to create one back layer. So I'm going to move that one out the way for the time being because we're going to be using that one. So I've taken another bit of black texture card. So all this card, if you manage to get the additional 12 by 12 paper pads that we've got that complement the one in this collection, then that's the one I've used. However, you can also use your 8 by 8 ones. They're going to fit as well. So what I'm just going to do, Joe, just to line them up, because what I want to do is I also want to use this die here. So from this one, I'm using the interchangeable home set. So I'm going to use this one, and then I'm also going to use this one just like with the houses and the trees just there. You
awesome.
Still get a third one, but I'm not using that one because that's a sentiment. So I'm just going to set that to the side. So what I'm just doing then is, again, we've got this outside edge. Now to get this center part kind of accurate, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tape that one down. So if we then just hold that into place, Joe. Now, you don't have to use this as a guide. I find it easier, but it's entirely up to you. So what I'm just doing is I'm just going to just place that into place, just so that I can get that fine guide for that center part. So as I pop that one in, I'm then just going to just pop that one on. And then we're just going to press that, remove that one. So now that's going to give me that perfect center. So I'm just going to run that one through. So all of them are going to go through your Gemini Junior. They will, of course, go through your large Gemini. If you hear that cracking, I treated myself to new Gemini plates the other day. So when it's new Gemini, it's a real assuring sound, that one. So don't panic. So you can see nice, crisp, clean, all my mats. I just thought, I think I deserve nice, clean mats. So check out all our other plates and that. So what I'm doing now...
Let's see how long. Don't leave them around though in here, will you, Craig?
No.
Because you'll end up with a pair of bananas in no time is what you'll end up with. Sarah gets her hands on them.
Oh, Sarah's the worst.
She really is the worst.
Is the worst.
But luckily she's the boss, so she doesn't get told off, which is great. Mary Ann says how much she loves all of these cards. They're all stunning. Katrina letting me know that she's already purchased this. It's going very, very fast, Craig, I would say, this collection. If you want it, think about ordering it sooner rather than later. Would be my recommendation.
So that gives us that, just like there. So you can see just through my hand there, we've got the nice of the house as well as the tree. So I'm going to set that one to the side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another one again. So another bit of black cardstock. So I'm just going to do exactly the same, but this time I'm going to take what kind of looks like the sunset. You know, it could be sunset, it could be sunrise, it could be anything that you wish it to be. So what I'm just going to do is, again, taping this one down. So just doesn't need to be neat, as long as obviously we are on the card. So if we hold that one in, and then I'm just going to take this one again as a guide, just to hold that in. And then that gives me the nice, precise part for this one. So as we cut this one out, we're then, in a moment, we're going to come along just with this die on its own, and we're going to die cut it in a few different colours. We're going to do a bit of paper piecing. So what we'll do is we'll set that one to the side at the moment. So as that one comes through, I've got a piece of white cardstock. Now you're not going to see this white cardstock, so it doesn't need to be anything special. And I've also got a bit of green and a bit of orange cardstock, also from our paper collection. So what I'm going to do now is if we take this one out, so this is going to give us that effect there.
I really love that one,
I
Craig.
absolutely love that one as well. It is stunning, isn't it? So I'm going to set that to the side for the time being. And then what I'm going to do is let's just take them out the way. So we want this die. So I'm going to take all these bits out, and then we're just going to take our cardstock. So let's just get rid of that excess bit. Now all these smaller ones, these will go through your mini as well as your go if you have either of them. So if you want to do things like I'm just away to do now, then you can do it, that's no problem. So what I'm just doing is let's just tape that one on. Let's pop it at a bit of an angle towards the top because we'll do the pause and reverse. Now what I want to do with the green is this part here, what is the ground, that's the only bit that I actually want to keep. So that one can go through, and then once I hear and it goes through, I'm just going to press the pause and then the reverse. So then what we can do is all that, obviously it will be waste to me, but then you can keep a hold of it and paper piece it elsewhere if you wanted to. But let's remove that one. So I'm just going to carefully make sure that I'm going to just hold on to that base bit. Now I'm just going to move that out the way, and I'm going to keep that because this bit I'll use elsewhere at home. So these bits I can get rid of just now. Again, I could be using them elsewhere if I wanted to. And I want to use this one again, Joe, and I'm just going to do exactly the same, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the opposite. So this kind of like, this, what's it called again? The sun rays. Is it the sun rays?
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
I think so, isn't it? So these are the bits that I'm wanting to keep when it comes to this one.
Awesome. Loads of people loving this already. Claire let me know that she's gone for that tote. She said she'd been looking at it for ages, finally gave in. She said a set of nesting dies may have fallen into her basket as well. They are still hanging on by a thread, those nesting dies. You can definitely go back and grab those if you want to. I need to let you know about how we're doing stock-wise on our big collection. 60% of this has sold out and gone. I said I thought it might go in the first hour. I think it is now a foregone conclusion that it's going to go in the first hour. If you want it and you don't want to miss out on it, there's less than 50 remaining now. It's going to go really fast. £132, $175. Everyone gets free P&P and free shipping and handling. So definitely grab it. Just over £100 if you're a platinum member. You'd save, what, $35 if you were getting this in the US as well. So very, very busy, Craig. I'm not sure how many demos you've got planned on this, Craig. Well, I'm not sure how many you're going to actually get through before it sells out.
I don't know either, but I was so keen to actually show you this Halloween one because I just took a picture of this one. Actually, it was just, I kind of took a picture like that and that, popped it on my Instagram, and everyone was going crazy with it. So I thought, right, I better make this on Monday Makers. So what I've done now is I've just popped out all these bits. So again, what would be waste, I've just kept a hold of them. And then I'm going to bring in this white cardstock here. And then I'm just going to bring in my tacky glue. Now this could be your sprays or your dotty tape runner. It's entirely up to yourself. But we're just going to add that adhesive on. And then what we're then doing is placing this over the white card, or the white card over that place. So then what that does, we'll press that down. We're not going to see that bit. So what that then does is that gives us a base for us to do our paper piecing on.
Oh, awesome. That's
top tip. So we've got these ones. And then all that I'm just going to do just now, Joe, is I'm just going to basically kind of like colour in with my glue. And then I'm just going to pop these into place. So again, you can use your sprays, or if you do happen to have a Xyron machine, you could be using that one. And that's going to be really easy for you to then paper piece. And they are nice size ones. They're not too intricate or detailed. Even these couple of small ones just here, they are not too intricate. So quite easy just to pick up with your hands if you want, or of course you can use your tweezers.
Getting busier and busier. Loads of people shopping ahead. Loads of stuff still to come, other stuff still to come. What I would say, Craig, is we're not going to get as many demos done of this as we would like. No, I think that is becoming clear. Remember though, there was a whole launch day on this, wasn't there, Craig? Yourself and I did a launch day show on this, so you can pop yourself back. I believe, when was it, Craig? Was it this last week?
This time...
Was it Monday last week? It was around about then. Anyway, there was a launch day featuring this. Go over to our website, craftscompanion.co.uk.au. Go to Crafters TV. Go back, and what you'll see is the thumbnails now are basically what was made in the show. So you'll see the Aperture Diorama collection on the front of the video. Click in there. 2 whole hours of Craig taking you through a whole host of different demonstrations and how you can use this. It was the 21st of September. Yeah, was it last Monday? Something like that.
Can't believe that's gone in so quick, hasn't it?
Really fast.
So there we go. You can see now, I've just paper pieced them back in, and you can see what I mean straight away by the orange and the green. It starts to come that Halloween-esque type of spooky.
Do you know what? Halloween-esque, but also like a little bit like a piece of artwork you'd see on the wall of a Chinese restaurant or something like that.
That's
it's got
very
a bit
true.
of that vibe about it. Or maybe in a Chinese takeaway and it'd have like running water behind it. One of those kind of things. No one else seen that?
Yeah, I can see what you mean. I can see what you mean. Yeah.
Maybe Land of the Rising Sun is where it's coming from. Who knows?
I know, yeah. Now that you've said that, I can actually see where you're coming from with that one. Yeah, it does kind of. But then changing the colours as well, and it can look different. That's the good thing about them. So what I'm going to do now is, I'm not going to die cut this one because I've got one already done, because I want to get on, because I want to use the embossing folder. So all that I've done with that one, just like I have done with the other, so I'm using the outside edge, I'm using this detailed one as a guide, and then that one's also going to go into the middle. Die cut that one out, and then that's going to give you your aperture effect just here. So that's given us that one. And then the other couple that I've already done, very, very simply, but of course, just to save a bit of time, within the die set, on the back of the diorama, you get your 2 panels. So all that you're going to do is just die cut them twice. So I've used the same kind of black cardstock, and then that gives us that. So we've done 2 of them, and you've even got the little notches just at the top. So what I'm then going to do now is I'm going to bring in the brick layers. This is the embossing folder. So we're going to use this one. So what I'm going to do now is, if I then bring in our aperture, which is going to be the front, and then we're just going to run it through our embossing folder. So I'm just making sure, so there is the emboss. So we're just going to just pop this in. Don't worry about the tabs. It will emboss the tabs, but you'll still be able to use them. Closing that one. And then we're going to bring in our base cutting plate, because this is what I would class as a traditional style embossing folder. And what I'm also going to do, just to add that extra bit of emboss, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop in our metal shim. And that's just going to add that wee bit of, as I like to say, that wee bit of oomph. And it's really going to push that embossing all the way out. So as that one comes out, then what we're going to do is move them out the way, and move them out the way. So we can see is that then gives us the brickwork. Now I know obviously that is black against a deep purple top, but then what we're going to do is let's bring in silver gilding wax.
Oh, gorgeous.
So
now, I think I'm right in saying we do have all the gilding waxes available on the show, Craig.
We do.
King Gold, Antique Gold, Gold Renaissance or Silver, $11.99 or $16.99. So definitely stock up on those. We're definitely coming into gilding wax season. If it had a season, I think we're nearly there, Craig, don't you?
Oh, 100%. And what's good about it as well is then we're going straight into Christmas, which you get away with doing your gilding waxes as well. And then also, you know, here in the UK, I know a lot of the places aren't doing them this year, but we've got bonfire or fireworks. Now, I know obviously we don't make and sell cards for fireworks, but if you want to stay within that glitz and sparkly occasion, then use it all the way through from Halloween right up until Christmas. Gives you kind of like, it's not permission, but it just allows you to go all out with the gilding wax.
Yeah,
so,
go for it. I reckon gilding wax is not just for Christmas, it's for all year round, Craig.
Is it? It absolutely isn't. Now you can see just here, so that's given us our brickwork. So again, very dungeon-esque to the actual brickwork with the aperture. So that's that one. And then what I've also done is die cut a couple of others. So this is then obviously going to be our side panel. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to cover them up afterwards. I didn't want to see the notches. So I've just die cut another two and done exactly the same, just ran them through the embossing folder and then just popped silver gilding wax. So let's pop that one out the way and then let's just bring our layers in and we're just going to start to build this up. So this is going to be kind of like the basis of a Halloween themed diorama card. You can then come along and start to decorate it with tombstones and spider webs and all these different skeletons and things. So what I'm then just going to do is I have then got my base. And then I've also got my next layer here. And then what I'm going to do is bring in the house. And then let's just quickly get rid of that excess there.
I guess, Craig, if you want to, you can really play around with what is your back panel, what's your front panel.
Of course you
can.
can.
Customise it a lot.
Of course you can. If you wanted to, now obviously you can't see through this one because we've done the paper piece in, but if you wanted to have that over the top in that way, then you can do it. It's entirely up to you. Have a bit of play. You might just want that one on its own and not the other ones. Just keep them blank. It's no problem at all. So then what I'm also just going to do is if we pop that one to the side, so that gives us all four. Then what I have just done is using a piece of green card, I've then taken the additional aperture or the additional interchangeable, which says just a note. So I die cut that one, Joe, as well as the outside edge. So I've just ran that one through just like that. Then what it does is it gives us that one. So it gives us the just a note, but I don't want just a note. I don't want just a note at Halloween. You know, I want something spooky and scary and I just want a frame basically. So
it's such a scary frame.
A scary frame, of course, yeah. A very green, non-scary frame. But you know, ink it up if you want.
Peg is saying, yay, Craig, Halloween. Katie's saying, we love Halloween. Please, Joe, tell Sarah we would love her to do Halloween stamps and dies. Ooh.
Mm-hmm. I think I said it last week, but I'm on your side as well. I keep saying we're trying to get, obviously it won't be for this year, but we'll keep trying for next year. Fingers crossed.
We need to put it when they do the open forum, Craig.
That's right.
The design ideas. Maybe we'll pop it in there as well. Nora's already got these, waiting for them to be delivered. And Patricia's saying she's really loving this project, Craig. I don't think you normally think about changing things that like these that are quite pretty into something that is a bit sort of more spooky and grungy, but I guess it just shows the versatility of the dies.
Completely. And as I always say, it's just all about colour. You know, changing the colour can look completely different. So what I'm just doing now is I've taken this back panel. Now I would use a red liner tape, you know, possibly a wet glue, but just for speed, I'm going to use our tape runner. So I'm just going to add our adhesive onto the back, just like that one. So then these ones, we're going to fold them inwards and then we're just going to tuck these just to the side. Now keeping in mind, these tags here at the top, they're slightly smaller than these ones here. So that matches in with the actual slots. The bottom ones are smaller. So I'm just going to press that one into place. And then we're going to do exactly the same. So if we turn it that way, and we're just going to pop that one on. So if I move it that way for you to see. So that then holds that one on. So that starts to create the actual
it's like a big
diorama.
old antique wardrobe now.
Yeah, or one of these coffins that open up.
Yes.
You know, you could be using it for that one. Change the top, change the shape if you wanted to. You can do. And then what we're going to do now is this next one, we're going to then just pop this one through into these slots here. So I'm just going to fold them over first. Now with these ones, what these do is these give you the score lines as well. So we're just going to score them over and then we're just going to pop that one with adhesive. Now you're not really going to see this white layer at the back because you've got this back part. However, if you wanted to put a black layer over the top, you can do. So we're just going to slot these ones in. So slot that one in and then slot that one in. So as that one goes over, and then what I'm just going to do is once that's slotted into place, I'm just going to press and press. So then that's nice and secure.
Could you glue those in if you wanted to, Craig? Anything to stop you doing that?
What's that, sorry?
So could you glue the tabs down to the side flap once you've pushed them through? Or do they need to stay loose?
Yeah, that's what I've done now. So I've just popped some adhesive onto the back.
Right.
And then I'm just going to press them so that they hold into place. If you want to leave them free flowing, then you can do.
Okey-doke.
But then that just actually secures it in place. So then what we're going to do with this one, let's take the house And then all that we're going to do, because we've done that frame, we're just going to add that bit of green around the edge. So this could be the orange if you wanted, or it could be purple if you wanted to. We're just going to do it. But then, as you can see, all of these I'm using the Junior for these ones, but they will all go through the Daddy Gemini. So I'm just going to add that on. Now, because I'm using our tacky glue, it's going to dry clear, so do not worry when it comes to these ones. And then we're just going to finish this off, Joe, by assembling it.
Awesome. Really, really busy on this collection, Craig. People are absolutely loving it. It's definitely going to go in the first hour. Like 70% of the stock now has sold out and gone. Lots of you with it in your basket. We'll soon be getting to that point where there's as many of you trying to get hold of this as we actually have stock available. Remember what you're getting, all of the dies that you need in all the different styles. So the 2 different die styles, you're getting the 6 interchangeable elements that go within there, the 4 embossing folder, you're getting the 2 pads which you can overlay the die onto to just cut out that in its simplest form, and then you're getting that beautiful pastels card pack as well. All of that for that price that you can see there on your screen. It is really, really busy. If it's in your basket, I would definitely think about moving towards the checkout. Janet just says, yes, 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 just ordered the Diorama collection. Also got the nesting dies from the earlier show. Was getting very worried with Joe's stock updates. It was going to sell out. It will go any minute. But yeah, Janet in Singapore, definitely treating herself. Patricia saying, love the background as well. So a lot of love for this, Craig. And those embossing folders, Craig, they are, I'm guessing you can use those just on their own if you wanted to, like a regular embossing folder, as well as in this collection.
Of course you can. You know, but this one, as you can see, it's the brickwork. Now, if you've got any of our flower forming foam, if you've got any of our nature collections, anything like that, then anything that you think brickwork was going to work well with, you could be using that one. But then, of course, if you use it with craft card or cream card, then start to ink it, distress it with any of your water reactive inks. Change the look completely. But then you can see on that one just there, so there is the effect that is starting to come on now. But then remember, what I done just beforehand is I just done a couple of extra side panels. Absolutely fine seeing the wee notches just there at the side, but I just wanted to cover them up. So what I'm just going to do is just take my tape that I've already got in place, and we're just going to cover these up. So it just covers up the workings. So we're just going to pop these ones into there and then into there. And then what we're going to do is do this one again. So we're going to just do that one and then that one. And then if we pop that one into place just here. So we're holding that in. And then what you also get within these interchangeable die sets here, you've got some additional wee clouds. So what I've just done, just in some of grey cardstock, I've just cut these ones out. But what I want to show you as well, now I've not pre-done this, but I just want to show you how, if you want to create different shapes and extra things for dioramas, you don't need to be kind of precise. So all that I'm just going to do, just a little rectangle, all that I'm just doing is if I just freehand, just cut, that's not straight, it's not, you know, on proper angle, but look at that, we've got a tombstone, just in grey. Of course, that could be black, you know, add a bit of gilding wax around it. So don't think, if there's specific shapes that you're wanting or styles, they have to be neat. Literally freehand them. Don't be scared, just go ahead and do it. And then all that I'm just going to do with these ones, I'm just going to pop just a couple on, Joe. And then you can either do this now or you can come along and do it beforehand. And then I'm just going to just pop these ones just into the side just there. So I'm just going to pop that one on. Then let's bring this one on just into the other side. So let's pop that one on, and then let's even just bring one other one just to the back. Now keeping in mind, you're going to come along with your tombstones, maybe your cotton wool so that it could be the cobwebs, make your spiders, anything like that. But then there we go, that's all that I'm going to do with that one, Joe. But we've completely changed what was the diorama die, and also the, what one did we use? The home one. So this is what it looks like now. Again, very, you know, it will be a lot more spooky when you add stuff. But of course, this is how it kind of would have been intended using the paper pad. but as you can see there,
Totally different.
completely different that you can see. Now, can you imagine if that was maybe Christmas? Use your craft cards and your reds, and then that could be as if you're looking into a window. You know, you've got maybe the sunset coming up on Christmas morning. You know, maybe if you've got, remember our shaker dies with the stocking, pop that in the background as well. But it can look completely different. Just because we don't have a Halloween themed die within the collection doesn't mean that you can't make it Halloween. Change the colours, you can go all out.
Absolutely, you can, and it's very busy. I knew this was going to happen. It's gone limited stock already. Less than 10% of our stock that we have our starting stock is remaining. So I'm going to really quickly whiz through because we're at that point where if you all check out, we're going to have none left whatsoever. So if it's in your basket and you want it, check it out. If it's in your basket and you don't want it, let it go because there is a queue of people starting to form behind you. What you've got is you've got the main worker die. So this one here is the fancy one that you can see. So basically in its purest or simplest form, what you do is you take that die collection there and you take this pad which is coming included, you lay the die over and it cuts out this these gorgeous panels. So it then allows you to put them together in that very gorgeous simple floral theme as you saw Craig using them then. The other thing then what you can start to do though is then bring in the interchangeable elements of you've just seen Craig doing. So within the fancy one you're going to get the home which Craig used a moment ago. You're also going to get this one here, which is the birthday, and you're also going to get the garden as well. So those, along with the fancy one, are the first element that you're getting. You're then getting all the same, and you're getting that in the circle as well. So you can then take the circle pad and you can lay that over and cut that out in its simplest form. Still really, really gorgeous when you choose to do that. But then what you've got is then all of your interchangeables as well. So you've then got your woodland circle interchangeable. You've got this one here, which is the love. And you're also getting the butterflies in there as well. Don't forget also, as well as that, you're in those 4 brand new embossing folders included in there too, which is great. And they're going to work beautifully with the collection, equally as well away from the collection as well. And then we've included this gorgeous new card pad. It is the beautiful, pretty pastels that you've got just there, and that's 300 GSM, that, which is absolutely awesome. Now, £132 or $175. Everyone's going to get free postage and packaging, free shipping and handling. You can use your Club Inspired discount too. Now, I'm going to give you all a chance to check out your baskets. Whilst you do that, let's recap all the awesome details of Club Inspire.
Welcome to Club Inspire, our free loyalty club. As a member of the club, you can save up to 20% every time you shop with us. For every £1 you spend, whether it's in one of our stores or on our website, you'll collect 1 loyalty point. The more points you have, the more benefits you'll receive. As a welcome present, we'll give you 20% discount with your very first order. Once you place your first order, you'll be given 250 points straight away, making you a bronze member. This will mean that you'll receive a 5% discount on all of your purchases until the end of the next calendar year, plus priority postage. 500 points takes you up to silver membership, where you'll get 10% discount plus free shipping when you spend over £20. When you get to 750 points, you'll become a gold member, which gets you a whopping 15% discount on every order, and we'll ship them to you completely free, no matter how big or small they are. Spend over £25 and we'll send them to you via our premium next day delivery courier service. When you reach 1500 points, you'll become a platinum member, giving you the same shipping benefits as a gold member, but with the added bonus of a massive 20% discount on all of your purchases. Now, on top of that, you'll receive exclusive discounts, sneak peeks of brand new products, special offers and money-saving vouchers. You'll have access to an exclusive secret Facebook group to meet like-minded friends, to find out information first and to be inspired by all the crafty makes. We'll send you a completely free quarterly Digimag direct into your inbox, giving you lots of hints, tips, inspiration, additional offers and some sneaky behind the scenes gossip from the team. So what are you waiting for? Become a member of our club today.
Craig living his best floor manager life there under that VT. He was loving it. He's in his element. Final call on these guys, down to single figures left on them. You'll need to be quick for them. There's going to be a lot of disappointed people out there if you don't grab them very, very quickly. Now we're going to move on to the foil press. Now, the foil press, Craig, for anyone that hasn't seen the foil press, I would say, do you know, what rock have you been living under? But what sort of difference is it going to make to your crafting having a foil press?
Right, having the foil press at home, it enables you to then actually use the foiling stamps that obviously we do at Crafter's Companion. It allows you to create your cards or project around that foiling. It enables you to add a bit of accent foiling to it. If you have obviously got Sarah's signature, if you have then got maybe your nature gardens, maybe you've got hunky dory toppers, you've seen Debbie on with paper dynamics, any of those with foiling, you can then enhance that foiling that wee bit more. You get to do it at home yourself. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a bit of foiling just now. We're going to go over the machine, then we'll do a bit of foiling, and then we'll do a bit of foiling again later on with something that hopefully it'll just make you go even more wow, if that's even possible. So with the foil press just here, it works straight away with your Gemini Junior. Now you can use it with your large Gemini, you just need an extender plate, which I'm sure it will be on the website. Now with our foil press, as you can see just here, is we've got the main switch power at the side, and then we've also got the power button just at the top here. Now we've got high, medium and low temperature. Right up to this very day, you will only ever need the low temperature. That's all that you'll ever need.
So what's the high there for there? Let me try that again, Craig. What is the high there for, Craig?
So what I like to say with the high and the low, or the high and the medium, is kind of future-proofing anything that we've got out in the future. So instead of Leanne and the product development team just giving the low temperature, and then, you know, as things start to evolve, you know what we're like at Crafter's Companion, we're always kind of at that forefront of actually bringing in that new technique, that new product, the new things that you can do. Instead of having to come in with a foil press with, you know, a higher temperature, it just means then we've then done that for you, so it's already done for you. So as I said, don't need to worry about medium or high at the moment, everything's on low. We've also got medium and we've got seconds. So everything is done on the low temperature. All that you're then going to be changing is actually the seconds. Now what I mean by that, we'll go over that again in a moment, but what that is if you are under foiling, so that just means there's foiling where it's just been missed. What it means is it's not been on the heat mat for as long, so you increase it for a few seconds. If you have then got over foiling, so you've got foiling where you don't want it, that just means then that what you can then do is reduce the time. You're not reducing the temperature, you're reducing the time. Sometimes it's just by a couple of seconds. What that also means is that gives you full control. Other foiling machines out there doesn't have that ability to do that. If you get under foiling, over foiling, basically tough. You need to try and deal with that one yourself, whereas having ours with the time, you're able to do that. It's got the start, it's got the reset button. What it also means as well, Joe, this is something that people ask time and time and time again, can you foil your normal wafer thin dies? And absolutely you can do. So whether it's your normal wafer thin dies, we're going to show you that later on. We showed you obviously within the board with the diorama cards, but then you can then foil your die cut pieces. So what we can do is, let's just take one of the dies we've got on today's show. So we're going to use that one here. So this is the Shine Bright. So what I'm just going to do is, if I also bring in, I'm just looking to see I'm going to shout over to Joe. Joe, see on the seat there is the matrix for the foil press. Could you pop that across?
The matrix.
The matrix, it sounds so future-proof. And keeping in mind, you know, the foil press is all about the future, but it gives you a guide. So if I think, there we go. There we go,
there you are.
Perfect. So what this just means is, I think if we go from up above so that you can see, it gives you all about the foil press, and then it actually just tells you, you know, the layers up when it comes to using your foil press. Now, at last count, this was the other month, there was 1,700 hours of foil press.
How many, Craig?
I know.
1,700
on
hours?
our YouTube channel.
I want to know how many weeks that would be continuous
imagine?
Of inspiration. Imagine how foiled you would be after 1,700 hours, Craig.
And I've done lots of other foil press shows since then. You know, Debbie's been on, I think Jan's had it on, so there's even more and more. We are always there to hold your hand, get it out the box and try it. But as you can see just here, it gives you a guide. This is just a slight guide of what you can be foiling with. So we've got cardstock, we've got 350 cardstock, pearlescent card, vellum, mirror card, acetate, leather, fabric, satin, and there is so much more as well. So as you can see, small, medium and large die, and then what you've got here, everything is on low. So then what I'm going to do with this one I would class as a medium die. If you're unsure as to what is a small, medium and large, what we tend to say, have a look at your platform. So we've got our platform just here. So if it fills maybe about 1/3, that would be classed roughly as a small. If it fills maybe about 2/3, that would roughly be about a medium. And if it fills the back, then that's going to be a large one. So for this one here, I'm going to class this one as a medium one. And all that I'm going to foil onto is onto our 300 GSM white cardstock, just to show you. So I know from here, it says medium and it says 15 seconds. So I'm just going to come at the time, we're on low and we're on green, which means we're ready to go. So I'm just going to go up to 15 seconds. So as we go right up to 15, again, we're on green, which means we're ready to go. So I'm just going to pop my foil press stamp on there, ready to go. And now I like to put my carbon plate over the top to retain the heat and press start. Sarah and Debbie, when they're on, they don't put the carbon plate on. It's what you feel comfortable with. I like to put mine on just to retain that heat. So that's why I like to do that one.
Loads of people loving this. Lynn saying over on Facebook, I love my foil press. Need to use it more. Foiling is like embossing. Simply amazing results, says Andrea. As well, loads of you absolutely love your foil press. I know people seem to be converted, don't they, once they start using these, Craig?
100%, absolutely 100%, because when you see the effect that it can give you. Now have everything lined up so you're ready to go straight away. So what I'm just going to do now is I'm going to put some rose gold foil and we're going to pop that one over the top so it's always shiny side facing downwards. Then I'm going to bring in my cardstock and I'm going to pop that one over the top, and then I'm just going to bring in my carbon plate. There's an edge at the top just here, so just butt that up to the edge and then pull it down. And then what you're going to do here is Debbie always says, Debbie Robinson, slide it out. Don't bend it, don't tip it and bend it, because there's metal prongs in there that conduct the heat, so you don't want to bend them. Feed it into the Gemini. I just let it feed in until it grabs it, and then I just let it go. So what it's doing is the combination between the heat of the platform as well as the pressure of the Gemini. If we then bring this one in, and then what we're going to do, straight away that foil's just completely come off, so I couldn't even do that amazing reveal, but look at that one. Now look at that foiling. Look at this, it's like the sunburst on that one.
Is it shining? Yeah,
Is it
shining.
shining?
Look at that.
Yeah, look at the rose gold. But then with that die set, you'll see it on the website, if we get time to show you later on, you also get a die that you can cut out the center just there. And you also get your sentiment, which also that foils. But what I want to really do is, I want to then just show you another technique. Also just to say as well, the platform, it doesn't get boiling hot, or the actual stamps don't get boiling hot. Quite comfortable for me to hold in my hand, and most people will. What you will find with your foil press bundle, you do get some magnetic tweezers, and you also get a heat-proof mat and heat-proof tongs, just that if you are a bit heat sensitive. But then all you just do is close the tweezers, just lift it up, and then you can then move that to your heat-proof mat. Maybe you've only got a small area, you've maybe only got a dining unit that's quite expensive, but that's all that you've got. You know for safety that you've got all that heat resist elements within the box.
Absolutely.
So, sorry Joe, were you
no,
just
no,
about to
not
say
at all.
something?
I just wanted to let you know how busy
Yeah,
it
go
is
for it.
on the main machine. $89.99, $125.95. That is a 10% saving. We don't usually do any kind of discounting on our foil press machine, and you're getting everything you need in there as standard. So you get the base, you're getting the platform in here as well as the top plates, the metal shim, the silicone cooling mat, the tweezers, the finger grips. You're getting foil in there, 2 foil stamp dies. You're also getting foil stamp and cut dies, and the instructions, and the power cord as well. And you can even use your Club Inspired discount on top of that as well if you want. Sarah always talks about this, Craig, as being, don't think about this as a new machine. Think about this as an extension of your Gemini Junior that you already have. You're basically just upgrading that machine that you already own, which I think is a much let's say, less scary way of thinking about it.
Absolutely, yeah, completely agree. And what I also say as well is one of those things that if we do a full foil press show, you see me doing cardstock, acetate, vellum, leather, glitter card, mirror card, acetate, Centura Pearl, adorable, scoreable, and you want to do that when you get home. You get all excited, and then maybe that you just need to get used to the times. You maybe get a bit of underfoiling, and it knocks your confidence. Go on our YouTube, like I say, we've got all those hours there. I'm on Facebook and Instagram as well as all the team. They love the foil press just as much as I do. Any questions, just go across and ask us or watch on YouTube. But then what you'll also find as well, it will take your crafting to the next level. Start with cardstock, get your confidence level up, foil onto, you know, black card, white card, craft card. Once your confidence level's up, then maybe just move to maybe something like maybe vellum. And then once you've conquered that, move to the next one. Before you know it, you're going to have done maybe about 5 materials within a day, because it really is that easy and the confidence grows. But what I wanted to show you is this part here, which would be the waist. Now, this is a technique that's not within the Matrix book, so either jot it down or again, this is across on YouTube.
Maybe you could go and watch some of those tutorials, Craig. We've worked it out. There are 10 weeks worth. If you watch them continuously, I think you're going to need a lot of snacks, Craig, for that crafting, that little crafting stint.
That is a lot, isn't it? Can you imagine? Imagine how much popcorn you would go through that one. You know, yeah, that would take you into 2021, which, you know, let's face it, well, hope it's a good one. But yeah, that really is such a long. So you can imagine the different techniques, the ideas that are there, you know, and this really is going to just set your 2021 off with a bang. In a good way this time.
Absolutely.
So what we're then going to do is you're going to find you've got what is the waist. So you would probably come along, you go, I'm just going to pop that in the bin. Don't pop it in the bin, we're going to use that one. So what to do is pop this again, shiny side down, straight onto your mat. And again, as you can see, it's really quite warm, but it's not burning. Obviously, you're not going to be around just going like that with your hands, but it's just to show you. So we've got what is our waist. Then I'm going to bring in some black cardstock, because this is going to show it off really well. So we're popping on black card. Then what I'm doing is I've got a couple of shims of our 310 Centura Pearl. You can see it's just a pink one. So I've got 2. So that's a shim just to bulk it all out. And then what I'm also going to use is my magnetic shim from my Gemini Junior. I do keep a separate one where I only use it for my foil press. You don't have to, but it's just easier than constantly taking it out your foil press bag if you've got one. Pop in my carbon plate over the top, and then what I've done is I've come right up to 45 seconds. We need that time to really come through all that foil into the card, and then the pressure is then going to do the foiling. So we're going to press start. So what it's doing is it's obviously counting down, so you don't need to do that. When it's actually on, when you're not using it, it's then going to cut off after it's about 20 minutes. So that if you are not using it and your phone goes, you know, maybe the postman comes to the door, maybe Holly and Phil come on the TV in the morning, then it just means then loose women maybe. But if you get intrigued by something that's on obviously TV, don't worry, it will cut off. Same way as if you find that you're not using it, pull the actual plate out, because if you don't, what's going to happen is the plate is going to start to buckle. So when you're not using it, if it's still switched on, just make sure that the actual plate is just pulled out slightly. There we go.
I'm ready.
I'm ready, as Leanne would say. Sliding that one out. And again, because we've got quite a few layers, I'm just holding that on just to grip it. Then it's going to go through the Gemini. Keeping in mind, everything that I'm doing, you absolutely can do with your large Gemini. You just need that extender plate. So as this one then comes out, so let's just move that one slightly out the way.
I mean, we can't say anything, Craig, because it is like super top secret, but it might be a great time to go for your foil press, because there might be something new coming for the foil press very soon. I've probably already said too much, Craig, I would say.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of the things that we're not in the know of until very close to it. But, you know, because I love my foil press quite a lot, I did get a wee heads up. So, as I'm saying...
Yeah, a few more weeks, just a few more weeks to wait.
A few more weeks.
Just a few more weeks.
And I'm not saying anything. So now, straight away, all that I'm doing is we've got that nice effect. But if I just pull this bit off... Now, look at that. So that is the waist of the plastic. We've now got what is obviously the waist... on the back. So we've got the positive, then we've then just got the negative. So again, cut into that, die cut into it. You know, you can then of course pop that in front of your cards. Check out the website for the other foils that you've got, because what the foils also enable you, they create a bit of a resist. So if you want to come over with your alcohol inks, instead of doing heat embossing, the foiling is going to do that resist effect for you. So add your inks over the top. As I say, I cannot shout enough about YouTube. When we're not live, go across there, building up your confidence as well, and you can foil onto so many different things.
Absolutely, I've just got a snapshot of those things here in front of me, Craig. So all your different cardstock, so black Centura craft card, your pattern papers here, mirror card, watercolour, black with the Spectrum Noir ink. So as Craig was just saying there, this one here, your glitter card, and then also, you know, a whole host of different fabrics that you can go onto. We've got denim here, some cotton fabric, faux leather, there's glitter material there, vellum, also here you can see craft metal, never would think to foil onto there. You've got the ribbon and you've got the acetate as well, and that really is the tip of the iceberg when it comes to your foiling. Very, very busy on that foil press machine. $89.99 or $125.95. Now also remember, there's a load of other accessories, foil press accessories in this show. So all your different foils, if you need the platform, the extender, it's all available for you there over on the website. I need to let you know of a sellout though, unfortunately. It is the main collection of the interchangeable aperture diorama. It's gone. Congratulations if you got it. That complete collection has sold out and gone. Now, the circle element of the collection is available on its own individually. In the circle, you will receive the circle aperture diorama die, so the main die that does all the work for you. You will then receive you'll still get the paper pad, and then you'll get the 3 interchangeables within there. You get the butterflies, the love, and the woodland as well. That element is still available for you. The embossing folders, they're still available as well. $15.50 or $22 if you want to get those. They work brilliantly with this collection, but they stand alone beautifully on their own as well. Very, very busy for that, and thought it might go in that first hour. Now, you've got your foiling machine. You've seen all the wonderful things that you can do with your foiling machine. Let's bring you some foil stamp dies for you to use with it. Now, these ones were a fairly recent launch. I think it was actually myself and Craig that launched these a little while back earlier this year. And what I love about these is that they are mucho foiling, as I call it, because a lot of the time with foiling, you kind of just get a little bit of foil, but with these ones, what you get is loads of it. And let's face it, that's the bling element that you want onto your project. So you're going to get this one in here, especially for you. You're also getting this one here, which is your Celebrate. So this is what it's going to give you. If you like to fussy cut around that, you've got a beautiful tag or a topper for a card in no time at all. Happy birthday as well with the cake in here. They're really versatile, usable sentiments, and you've got a thank you in there too. When you buy them all together, you get the best value, $38.97 or $44.97 if you want to grab hold of them. There are another collection of foil stamp dies in this show for you, and these are our foil stamp and cut dies that we've got. I love these. They're called the radiating foil stamp and cut dies, and they're super modern, which is why I really love them. And you're able to die cut that out. You get a separate die individually to cut the aperture out of there. As you can see, you've got Be Happy. You're also going to get Just For You. Now, they work great with or without that middle element. You've then got Shine Bright in here. And finally, you've also got Love You as well. $29.98 or $39.90 if you want to get them. That's a half price deal. You're paying for 2 and we're sending you 4. So again, fantastic value for money there with those. Right, I want to give you a heads up on some other stuff that's proving really busy over on the website. We've got the magnetic sheets available for you, $6.29 or $8.99. Maybe you got the storage on offer earlier. Maybe you've gone for that wonderful die collection. If you need the extra magnetic sheets, they're available now with a 10% saving, which is awesome. Right, up next, Centura Pearl, our 10-pack collections that are over on the website. Centura Pearl, the quality is second to none. It gives you that amazing luster and shine to your cardstock. 4 of these for £10 or $14, which is awesome value for money. The hint of the Snow White hint of gold, I think it is one of your top sellers, and the cherry you guys are loving as well at the moment there as well. Now, every Monday, well, Monday wouldn't be a Monday, would it? Let's face it, without the Monday mega deal. It is a time limited offer though. It can only hold the price of this for 24 hours. You've got a quarter off of the price here, $18.74. Shut the front door though. Check out the dollar price on this. The dollar price is through the floor on this product. $14.96 if you're across there in the US. Very rarely that we see that. I'm not sure, maybe it's a mistake. If it's a mistake, well, it's too late now. Make sure you grab one. Take advantage of it. We're fully committed now, so make sure you grab it. Still very busy as well on the foil press machine. It was very busy over the weekend. I think, did you do a little bit of a masterclass not so long ago, Craig, with the foil press? I feel like since then, loads of people have been grabbing theirs.
I did indeed. I think it was with Derek was the last time we'd done. Actually, it wasn't. It was Ben. And then the last time, because it was good as well, because Ben hasn't really seen a lot of the foil press. So it was good for him just to see all the detail. What I'm going to do is we're going to still focus on the foil press next. We're going to use the solid sentiments, especially for you. But I am going to use just quickly a normal die to foil that one. So then just think of all your other dies. However, I just want to show you my bag.
Shut the front door. You can use all your normal dies.
Yes, you can. So
great.
Tell you what, well, we'll show you that later on. We'll show you. That was my Monday bag, mega deal. Monday mega deal.
Your
Monday bag. Money bag.
I'll cut money bags. So bring it back. I want to see how much money you've
Jeezy peeps.
got in
if only. Well, hey, it's coming at the end of the month. Yeah. So all your wafer thin dies. Now, when I say wafer thin dies, I don't mean just ours. So obviously, if you have hunky dories, if you have tonics, spellbinders, any of those that are wafer thin, you could foil them. So what's going to happen is the detail, instead of it die cutting, is going to foil. So what I'm then just going to do is let's just take this detailed one out. So this is the one from the circle. So keeping in mind, so just this one here. So this side here is going to give you the ability to do all these different ones. So obviously that is the fancy, but just imagine this is the circle one. You can do all of these different things just by one side, which is the 3 dies, including embossing and foiling, and that's what we're away to do just now. So then you could then foil all those elements. So let's move that one out the way. Let's bring in our foil press. Now, I'm using, in case you wonder, why is he using black and gold a lot? If any mistakes are shown, it's going to be on black card and it's going to be with gold. So that's why I tend to use that a lot when it comes to showing you techniques. What we've done is we're green, good to go. We are on 25 seconds for this one because of the size of it. Again, this just came out last week.
It looks like a clock, doesn't it?
It does. Does look like a clock, doesn't it? Absolutely. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to pop that one on, and then I'm going to then just bring in my carbon plate just there, and I'm going to press start. So as you can see just here, what that's doing is if I turn it that way, so you can see how it's doing the countdown already for you. So it's doing the countdown just there, so you don't need to worry about doing any of the counting. I've got my black card, and then I've also got my gold card as well just here. Well, it's foil, but you know, it's going to go into the card. So as that then beeps to say we're done, it's just a way to go. There we go. And then what I'm just going to do is let's just move that down slightly. So we're then going to bring in our foil. So again, shiny side down, and then we're just going to pop our black card over the top. We're then just going to pop our carbon plate, and I'm just going to just slide that one out just like so, and we're going to run that one through. Now, not only does it foil your normal dies, think about die cutting that out. So the detail that's then die cut is then going to be able to be foiled. So think of all the different sentiments that you've got that you can die cut or foil. There's so much. So what I'm going to do now is if I lift this and then straight away the foils come off. Now look at that. Look at that.
That's incredible.
Is foiled using the detail from the die. But because with our diorama aperture card, what we can do, let's bring that outside one.
If you had, you know, you can buy like clock mechanisms, can't you, Craig, quite easily?
Yeah.
If you got one of those, you could actually, well, even if you cut it, I'm not sure you'd need to cut it out, but you could actually make that into an actual clock if you wanted to, I'm guessing.
100%. You absolutely can. There's literally nothing. Well, obviously, there'll be things that you can't do, but when it comes to creating just things like home decor, maybe you want to create things like your little clocks or that, your mantelpiece pleasers, anything like that, then you can, of course, be creating them. That's entirely up to yourself. But then this is a wafer thin die once again. So I'm just going to pop that one through. And then what I'm going to do is bring in plastic shim, magnetic, and then our top cut and plate. And we're going to run this one through.
Awesome. Remember, if you want to go for the circle collection, which is where that die has come from that Craig is using, the circle collection on its own is available. So you get the 3 interchangeables, the pad and the circle die as well. I'll run you through that deal after Craig has done getting all shiny with his foiling machine. I think it's fair to say, Craig, this is like your happy place, isn't it, the foiling machine?
I'd say it is. I would say it absolutely is. You know, just by using our normal dies, whether we're just using our foil press stamps, what I would say is they're called foil press stamps. We sometimes refer to them as dies because they look like dies, but they are actually stamps because they give you that stamped effect. So that's the one we're going to use next. But just quickly, what I wanted to just show you is now, look at this, Joe. This is, just blows my mind every single time.
Beautiful.
So there it is, our diorama, and we've now foiled that detail. So not only, I'm going to tip it just so it can, there we go, look at that. Gorgeous. So not only can we die cut it, not only can we emboss it like I showed you on the board, we can now foil that detail. Absolutely, I just love it. I absolutely love what you can do.
What I have noticed as well with our foil machine as well, that things that we foil, Craig, they stay shiny for ages and ages and ages, absolutely months and years. Like these boards, for instance, have been created months ago. I've been given things that have been foiled using different machines and mediums, and they tend to lose that shine very, very quickly. Ours doesn't do that. And I think that is all down to the quality of the machine. And it is absolutely features packed. In fact, let's have a little look at those features.
The Gemini foil press has arrived. Professional and luxurious hot foil letterpress can now be achieved in your own home with our innovative foil press system. This clever machine has been designed with so many fabulous and unique features, and it really does take paper and mixed media crafting to an exciting new level. Delivering professional looking foiling results using a hot press technique that ensures crisp, clean images. Perfect for stationery, invitations, party decorations, home decor, and so much more. The foil press is the only hot foiling system that uses a silicon plate, and we've created a plate that has edge-to-edge heat, so no matter where you place the dies, the heat will be the same. There are no cold spots or hot spots, just one consistent temperature, which again ensures perfectly foiled results every time you use it. Fast heat up reduces wait time, making projects faster to complete. The innovative foil stamp and cut dies allows you to do exactly that, creating professional quality hot stamping, and they work on everything from paper, fabric, cardstock to leather, vinyl, balsa wood and more. Don't waste any of your foil, as you can use the negative foil left over to create another project. With any machine that involves the use of heat, safety features are an absolute priority. The foil press has been fitted with a built-in cool-down feature that kicks in when the machine has been in use for a lengthy amount of time. There is also an automatic shut-off feature that will turn the machine off if the heated platform has been engaged for 25 minutes and not used. Everything needed comes in the box, including a handy manual which gives you all the time and temperature settings for the dies, so you can start foiling straight away. The Gemini Foil Press, made by crafters, for crafters.
The details there of our fabulous foil press. Loads of you saying how much you love it. Carol, Asuli, Terry, Katrina, Peggy, Diane, all saying what an incredible machine it is. It is available right now today with that 10% saving. Now, the large collection of the diorama, it has totally sold out and gone. However, don't worry, you can still get a piece of the diorama action. I'm going to show you how we've got a couple of smaller collections still available to you. The fancy style has completely sold out and gone. However, what we've got still is the circle, which is equally as gorgeous. Now, the great thing about these collections and how they're put together is it means that you can use them in very different ways to create very different projects. So let's think about using it in its simplest way first. So what you've got is the actual die itself. So the circle aperture diorama. This has got all of those different ways. In fact, I'm just going to ask Craig to hold that board up again to show you all the different ways that you can use just the one worker die. Check out all the different options that you've got. How amazing is that, Craig?
You can
Craig's
hardly even see
disappeared
me,
under
can
the
you?
L.
You know,
Oh.
I am here. But it just goes to show, as again, after talking about this with Joe last week, on Saturday night, I thought, right, let's at least do one. I did plan on doing them all, and then I realised how long it actually took to show that. So that one there is actually the waist, so that's creating the back. That's the waist bit, you could be an aperture. But then using the centre on its own with the outside, just using the centre on its own. We've got the centre on its own just there.
We need to get you a pointer.
We need a pointer, don't we? Detail without the centre, detail cut in the centre, just the detail with the centre taken out. Then we've done the foiling. I know it's a bit harder for you to see there, but foiled, and then just embossed, and we've gone over with the gilding wax. So keeping in mind, that's just what you can do exactly the same with the circle, but that's not it. This is just one of the interchangeable. Now keeping in mind, in each set you're getting 3. This is just one of them, and this is the one we used for the Halloween diorama. So you can be cutting in, you can be cutting out, trim all the parts out, use it as a frame. You've got the aperture of the frame and that as well. So keeping in mind, this is why I wanted to do that on over the weekend, just so that you could understand when me and Joe says there's so many different ways you can cut it, that's exactly why.
Awesome. So that really is just with this die and some of the interchangeables. Now, what you're going to get in here is you're going to get this die, you're going to get the paper pad as well. Now, the paper pad and this die together is the simplest way of using it really, because what you do is you take that die, you overlay it over this paper pad just here, and it's going to cut out all of the elements that you need to put together one of these fabulous diorama cards. Now, although it's simple when you use it in that format, it looks amazing still, because this is what you're then able to achieve even in that simple format there, as you can see. So you've got all the layers in there still, and the other great thing, it folds totally flat. So that is just using those 2 elements alone. Now, obviously, once that paper pad has been used up, or even before that paper pad has been used up, you've then got all the different options to bring in your interchangeable dies. So you're using the main element of the die, but then bringing all these other beautiful elements in as well. So you've got the woodland interchangeable circle in there, which you're going to be able to create all those lovely scenes with. You're then going to receive the love one in here as well. And then finally, you're also going to get as well this one, which is the butterflies, which are just here, £56 or $74 if you want to grab that. So you're saving there as well, $15.95 or $18.26 if you want to grab that one. Loads of you have been sending us pictures in of what you have been up to and making with these as well. This one here from the lovely Mary, that's gorgeous, isn't it, Craig?
That's absolutely stunning. And what Mary's done with that one is not actually used the diorama concepts, it's just die cut that front detailed one and popped it on front of a card. I love that idea.
Absolutely. Yeah, using them as toppers as well, they work equally well there. You've also got this one here from Terry Sue. Gone a bit festive with this one, Craig.
I believe that looks like a hunky-dory topper maybe. One of the circle toppers within the middle. Goes to show, use what you've got in your crafty stash. But yeah, just die cutting into the card. Love that one, Terry Sue.
Really, really gorgeous. You can see there, I love how she's brought a bit of gold into that as well. Is there a bit of foiling there, or is that a bit of pattern paper, do you think?
I think that's a pattern paper, but yeah, you could do, what you can do is then do maybe a bit of the foiling like that we showed you earlier on. But just goes to show, prime example, as you've been saying, Joe, yes, use the paper pad. However, once the paper pad's finished, you absolutely can use, you know, your plain cardstock, or of course it could be any of your Centura Pearl, anything like that to die cut, and that's exactly what we're going to do.
Absolutely.
Well, we're going to use the paper pad and some cardstock.
However, you know how the main collection sold out? I'm a bit worried that this one's going to be going the same way now as well, Craig. £56 or $74 if you want to get your hands on it. Remember, oh really? Half the stock has already gone. Can you believe it, Craig? I mean, we're having such a busy
I'm not going
Monday
to scream
today.
I'm not going to do Macaulay Culkin. I'll just go.
Please don't scream.
No.
Remember the embossing folders, they're also available individually as well. Do check the website for those. Right, what would you like to share with us next, Craig?
So we're going to use the circle diorama, and what we're going to do is we're going to use the interchangeable butterflies, although we're only going to use one of them. And then we're also going to use a mix of the cardstock and then also the paper pad. So what I'm going to do to start with, I've already cut my base layer. This is just our white smooth stamping card. So it's just one die cut using the outside one. So I've already done that one. So I can set that one to the side. And then what I'm going to do is I've just brought in some pink cardstock. So again, if you manage to get any of the other 4 bundles of colour of the 12 by 12 texture cardstock, you can get it from these ones. So what I'm then just going to do is let's bring in our junior plates. So we're just going to start to line these ones up.
Thinking about what you're going to be able to construct these with, Craig, are we going to be able to use all of the regular things that we'd normally use with dies? So all of our different coated cardstocks, our glitter, craft card, all of those things, are they all sort of strong enough and sturdy enough to create these with?
Absolutely, they will absolutely cut these, no problem at all. What I would say, if you want to do glitter card, pop in your metal shim for your main concept die, any of these little intricate bits, pop in your metal shim, but that will still cut your glitter card as well. No bother at all.
Awesome. Liz says the circle aperture makes me think of Cogsworth from Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it look great with the clock face in the centre? That's a lovely idea. And Asuli says, I am so in love with this set of aperture diorama dies. I can't wait to get mine. Thank you, Craig, for showing us more techniques on how to use them. Remember as well, if you are looking for even more inspiration, go back to last Monday's launch day show when myself and Craig launched them on the 21st it was, and there's all the demos that you've seen in this show and then another 2 hours of inspiration in that show as well. Remember, all of our shows live pretty much forever over on the website craftscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu.
It's always good just to take that bit of inspiration as well, because sometimes even us, we'll get up in the morning, we maybe just think, we're not sure what to look. So, as much as you say that we inspire you, trust me, we love seeing what you make as well, popping it onto Facebook or Instagram, because we take inspiration. So if you need to get it from our YouTube, you go for it. Take as much inspiration and ideas as you want. But with the actual diorama die, what we're going to do is we're going to be using, I call it the butterfly. It's actually called butterflies, funny enough, thinking it was a different name. But what I'm just going to do is, the concept is using all 3 to create that 3-layer diorama, but you don't need to. On this occasion, I'm just going to use the one. So I'm going to use this detailed one. Now, can you imagine if you were to foil that like we showed you earlier on? So just foiling that circle. You also get your circle die at the back there just to cut it out if you wanted to. So you've got all these ones. So we've done that base layer. Then what we're going to do for this one is we're just going to line the decorative die up. Again, using this one as an element just to line up the center. If you feel comfortable enough to line it up without it, you can do that. It's entirely up to you. But I do just like to use the die as well. And what we've not said, Joe, is even in both of these ones, whether it is the main concept die or your interchangeable, you also get an instruction booklet. So let's just take that one down. So if I just show you on this one just here, so this is the circle diorama. So you get a wee booklet here and it's got all the step-by-steps just to enable you. So if you need that for a bit of help, maybe you can't get to your computer straight away, maybe your internet's a bit slow, then you've got that to start you off.
That's always handy, isn't it?
And likewise, another one just explaining how you can actually use the interchangeable elements so you wish. So it's all there for you. So we've just got that lined up. So plastic shim, magnetic top cut and plate. We're going to run these ones through. I'm not doing any embossing, I'm not needing to add a metal shim, nothing like that. That's going to die cut the outside frame, so we're going to cut in that detail, keeping in mind mine's are brand new, well they were brand new plates. So let's take these ones.
I'm guessing, Craig, as well, any of these small dies that you've got elsewhere in your stash, like the peekaboos that we have, the little over the edge characters, all of those, I guess if you're a little bit inventive, you'll find ways to bring all of those dies that you've already got into this concept as well.
Absolutely. Now, can you imagine your staycation dies?
Yeah,
maybe your
great
pop-up
shout.
dies, so they're just popping up just within the actual aperture section. You can do 100%. Have a look to see what you've got within your stash and start to use them and just add them into the middle. But there is our detail die. So that's just with our pink cardstock. So let's pop that one to the side. This time what we're going to do is we're then just going to come along and we're going to use one from the paper pad. Now the instructions will tell you that the patterned frame, the patterned paper, this idea, the concept is for this to be the very back layer, but you can of course use it whatever layer that you want. So for this one, we're actually going to be using this one as the second front layer. We're just lining that up. Now there's a very fine line all the way around. I know you can't quite see it from up above, but there's a wee faint line all the way around, and that just enables you to just match that up perfectly. And when I mean perfectly, I honestly mean that. You've got that just nice, it's about a 1 millimeter all the way around. So sometimes you get a guideline and what happens is you've maybe got about 5 millimeters all the way around, and you go and try line it up, you die cut it, and you're left with more of a white shadow effect on one side than you are on the other. Because this is just a fine line, like I say, about 1 millimeter all the way around, you know that when you've lined it up perfectly, you're not going to get any of that shadowing, so to speak.
And I guess that what gives you a cleaner, crisper feel to the finished project, rather than it being a bit fuzzy around the edges.
It does, yeah. It all adds to that professionalism when it comes to that one. So as you can see there, so that now gives us that one. But what I actually should have done beforehand, I should have cut out that center aperture. So I'm just now going to take the die. So this is even, you know, it's just part of your circle nesting dies. If you want it to be, you've got a nice few there just to add. And I'm just going to tape this one down. So actually, I tell you what I'll do, Joe, just because we've got so much I want to show you. I've already done this one here.
Awesome.
So I've just die cut that out. Now that topper, so to speak, that could be used elsewhere in your crafting. Could be other parts. Could be a tag. Well, I know someone who loves a tag in here.
Oh, I love a tag, Craig.
Yeah.
I really do.
I don't know what it is
They're
about.
all I think of.
I don't know what it is about Derek loving his tags, but he really, really does.
Derek loves tags as well, does he?
No, I was just kind of.
Oh, okay.
It was one of those, you know, kind of tumbleweed moments. Wasn't that funny? But you know, I thought it was.
Oh, it's always funny if I ask you to explain it again. Usually, I find.
Yeah, me and jokes don't really work well either. We established that a couple of weeks ago, didn't we? Or was that Derek? That was Derek, wasn't it? Or was it you?
I'm not. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not sure now. I don't know. I don't really know what's going on now, Craig. To be honest.
There was a show when all you lovely crafters out there were sending in jokes, and let's just say, certain jokes just kind of just over the top of my head.
Yeah, I think you're at your funniest, Craig, when you're a little bit cutting. That's when you always make me laugh.
When
the
I'm
other
what?
day I said when you're a bit cutting is when you're at your funniest, I find.
Cutting?
A little bit cutting, yeah. So when I said to you the other day, for instance, that you do know in wrestling that they're not exactly hitting each other, don't you? It's like, I hit you in a minute. which is really funny. That really made me laugh.
Oh, so yeah, just the way I come out and say things sometimes, is it? Yeah. Well,
yes.
you know, 25 years of watching it, I think I gather now it's all fixed in storyline.
Well, it took me a long time, Craig. What can I say? It took me a long time.
Well, as I always say when people say that to me, I was like, well, it's no different from Coronation Street, EastEnders, whatever out here. Yeah,
There's a little bit less lycra in EastEnders, thankfully, Craig. But yeah, I guess you know, life is a story, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Absolutely, it is. Bit of escapism for the storylines. So what I've just done is we're actually keeping in this detail just here.
Are you okay, Craig? You're gonna be
I
giggling.
don't know what's tickled me there. I don't know what's tickled me.
Whilst you're sticking that down,
has.
let me just remind you exactly what you're getting in that collection. So with the circles, it's basically the circle element of the main collection that you're getting. So you're getting the actual machine, it's the actual die itself, which cuts everything out for you, along with a pad, and then 3 of the interchangeable elements as well. So you're getting the butterflies, the lovebirds, and the woodland scene as well. So you absolutely have everything you need to create beautiful projects in the same way that you had in the larger collections. You're just getting one of those styles, which is brilliant. Okie doke, back to you, Craig.
Okie doke. So what I've just done there, you've heard it just going through the Gemini. I've not done anything different other than just running it through. So what I'm just doing is taking all these bits out, and now that has die cut all these parts out. So you can see there, if I bring this one in, and that now Look at all of that just detailing out just there. So again, like I think it was Mary who sent her picture in, where she's used this kind of front just on the front of a card on its own, so you don't have to layer them up with the diorama. So that gives us all of our layers now. So let's pop all them out of the way just now, and then we can start to construct it. I'll tell you what we'll actually do is, when it came to the Halloween card, I didn't die cut one of the panels, so you need 2 of them. So I've got 2 already cut. Let's die cut one of them, just in case maybe you didn't see launch show, maybe you've not seen these ones before. So it's just to show you how these cut. So on the back of your diorama die, so on the back of this one, you've got your side panel, which you're going to die cut twice, and you get a few extra elements as well that you can use. So this one, we're going to die cut it. Now within the paper pad, you also get a couple of strips that you can see just there ready for you to die cut. You even get the wee lines. So if I tip it that way, just so we can see, there we go. So that's the lines that are going to die cut. Die cuts for you. You can see the lines just there. And the only thing you need to watch for is, because your actual notches within the actual diorama, because you've got the smaller notch and then your larger notch, you're just watching these notches just here. So I'm just lining it up that way. So then, like the actual outside of the diorama, there is that light faint line. So I'm just going to tape that one on, and then we can start to layer these ones up. So plastic magnetic top plate. So I'll just do the pause and reverse. But as I say, I do have the 2 already done. But if anyone that didn't see launch or haven't seen them before, that's all that we've done. But again, as you've seen with the Halloween one, we can just use any cardstock. So
if you want to go back, as you said, if you want to go back and watch that launch show back at any point, of course you can over on our website. It is there. The 21st of September is when it's from. So go over there, bookmark it now, and make sure you've got that ready to go as soon as these come back. And you've got all of this, and no one doubt these will be on again, you know, once we get them back in stock at some point in the future as a masterclass or something like that, Craig.
You can do it, yeah. Just go back, follow, see what we've done there. Actually just follow any techniques that we've just done on the past masterclasses, but then you can just do your own.
I sense there's just an underlying sense of giggliness there from you. I feel like you could burst out laughing at any point, Craig.
Honestly, nothing's funny, nothing's, right. I don't know what it is, just something's just caught me there.
You're just in a giddy kind of mood today.
Yeah. I'm maybe catching what they're just like chatting in my ear, you know, just saying, right, we're going to move on to this bit now. If you show this bit, I don't know if it's maybe just that's catching. I don't know. I'm just pure excuse. Any excuse.
Craig, if in doubt, blame the gallery. I mean, it works for all of us. It really does.
Blame the gallery. Or, you know, just say something's just tickled me. I don't know what it is, but it just made me have a light giggle. Yeah. That is that. Done now. Definitely not the gallery. So we've got these ones there. So we've got our layer. So we've got the mix of the paper pad that you've got within that bundle. Then we've also got some of the actual own cardstock. So that and that one is part of a paper pad, and then that and that is our own cardstock. So what I'm just going to do now is just start to layer these up, very similar to what we've done earlier on with the Halloween one. So all that I'm just going to do now with this back panel, I'm just going to actually fold them over. So these are the ones that I've done earlier on, we're done live, but I had a few already die cut exactly the same, but I've already put red liner tape on. Just in case you're wondering, you think he put that red liner tape on quite quick. So we're just going to pop these ones on. And then all that I'm now just doing again is, if you need to use your glass mat as a grid, then you can do. So I'm just going to line them up. So again, we've got that larger slot there to match with the larger panel. And then I'm just going to match that one up, and we're going to tape that down.
And if you were just using it as a topper, then we saw someone earlier, Craig, use the box, had a box lid, didn't they, with the sort of topper element. What would you do? Just cut those tabs off with a pair of scissors if you didn't need them?
Yep, that's all that I would do. So let's just show you. So this is the one that I've die cut that I'm not going to use because I've got one already. But all you would just do is just snip them off. So use your scissors. If you've maybe got your paper trimmer, you could be using that one. But really simply just to snip off. And then there we go. We've got a topper for a card that you can see just there. You wouldn't think there was little tabs on the side.
Evelyn is saying as well, she wants to make this into a small side table clock as well. So then again, that could be a great way of doing that if you want to.
That would be. Yeah, that would look really quite smart actually. I like that idea. So taking these ones off. The thing is once you start to think about what you can be creating, what you can be using, you know, maybe within your own stash at home, then you really find that you've got all these ideas that come flowing out. So whether it is just card making, maybe you want to incorporate it within your memory books. You know, some of these are small enough.
That's a lovely idea.
If you've got your precious memories collection, add them ones in. You don't need to use the interchangeable with the diorama set. Use them on their own. So we're just poking these ones out and I'm just popping them ones into place.
Good question for Craig here. Blessings on YouTube wants to know, Craig, are you going to be doing an advent calendar day by day or reveal this year?
Rightio. So,
oh, apparently you've already mentioned it. We can't talk about it.
Well, no, I'd mentioned it on my Facebook page.
Right, oh, okay.
The plan is yes. And obviously because it's for Christmas one, then it means I'll be able to do it on my own Facebook page for everyone, because we've got it in the UK as well.
Awesome. What
we just need to do is some of it might be live, some of it I might film beforehand, because what we need to take into account is when I done the HSN one, customer appreciation, I was in my 12-week isolation. So
okay.
I was at home every single day.
You've got a life now, haven't you? You know, you've got a jet set lifestyle. You're out and about, you know, living like a rock star now, Craig.
Yeah, well, I was going to say always flying about, obviously, until all this happened. But yeah, I want to, and I do plan on doing it. Might not be live every day, but there'll certainly be a video or a live each day. Ooh. And the only thing that we'll need to take into account is, obviously, I don't know whether I'll be going home a couple of days before Christmas or if I'll be going home on Christmas Eve. But either way, there will be some form of advent calendar video / live throughout December.
Oh, well, that's just something to look forward to through December. Doing a bit of crafting with Craig every day. Great question, that, Blessings. I'm glad you asked. So, yes, watch Craig's social media like a hawk for more information on that. Very busy now, Craig, on the Circle Aperture Diorama collection. Absolutely loads in there for you, and it is very, very busy. I'm loving this colour combination that you've got here, Craig.
Very pastel, isn't it? You know, with the two tones of pink, but then we've also got that blue as well. Mixing the blue within the pink works well too. So what I'm just doing, so I've popped them ones on, is just actually have that one on. So you can see that there. Now, I've not got any sentiment at the background. You could, of course, come along with any of the other sentiments. That could be at the back. That could be a picture, you know, maybe of a loved one or, you know, your friends, anything like that. It folds down so you can post it out to them. So many people would appreciate just a card to say you're thinking of them if you've maybe not seen them for a while. But then I've only used one layer of the interchangeable. That's all that I've done. I've not done the 3 layers. Other ones you do get is a butterfly, and then you also get your sentiment as well as a few accents. But what you also get within the paper pad is you get lots of different topper parts, so you can cut them out. So we've got flowers, we've got butterflies. So I've got these ones that I've already just cut out. And you know, Joe, we have got about 20 minutes towards the end and we've not had a foam pad yet. So
oh my, and do you know what? I was here with Debbie earlier. She did nothing but use foam pads for the entire show, Craig.
Shut the front door. She never, did she?
She used foam pads pretty much for the entire show. She might have used her chunky glue once or twice, but she used absolutely loads of foam pads. I couldn't quite get my head around it.
Oh, I've maybe start to convert her. Maybe she'd like to go with the actual foam pads. So there, that's interesting to know. Although, you know, you see how I have just said something. Actually, sounds like I was reacting to something that Daniel and Georgina said in my ear. It wasn't. It was to what I was saying at home. So, just in case there was a bit of a cross-reference just there.
You did sort of lose interest a little bit quickly there, Craig, but yeah, you know.
No, it wasn't. It's because I was carrying
I think he might have been slightly distracted, let's say. He's very interested about Debbie's choice of adhesive if you are watching, Debbie.
What I was a way to say is obviously Debbie's used her foam pads within these ones that she done earlier, but you'll have seen me, I do use my glue gel for adding any of the embellishments, anything like that. I do use the glue gel. So, you know, although I do love my foam pads, she loves her glue gel, and we do mix and match at times when we need it. So that was what I was just away to say. I find foam pads very interesting.
Craig, you've built a career out of foam pads. You really
I think we
have.
said it the other day, I could possibly do 2 hours on just foam pads alone.
Yeah, absolutely. £56.
So
or
it just goes
70
to show. I'm just going to set that just there.
You
But that
leave
just
that
goes
there,
to
Craig,
show
don't you worry.
you've got the diorama. We've just used that one centre part just there. I just fussy cut that one out, you know, foam pads and fussy cutting. I was in my element, but you don't need to do much to it. So that's including the paper pad as well as some of your own cardstock at home.
Awesome. If you want to get hold of it, it is available right now, the Circle Sentiments collection that we've got just here. So what you're going to get in there is you're going to get that main die that you can see just there. So this is your circle aperture diorama that you've got there. Now you're going to be able to use that in a couple of different ways. It's going to create the framework for you to use in conjunction with your interchangeable dies that you've got here. So you've got your hello, you've also got the love, which is this one here, and you've got the beautiful butterflies there as well. So you can use it in conjunction with that to create different scenes within there. Or what you can do is you can overlay that die onto the pad that comes with this. Now the pad's awesome. It's 300 GSM. So again, it's a really thick cardstock that you've got here. And this allows you to cut out all of that beautiful detailing. They're kind of like, I don't know, I think about it like a die that cuts out a topper, but the other way around. The topper is within the card, if you will. When you're using it in conjunction with a paper pad, this is what you're going to be able to get. You're going to get that gorgeous diorama style card in pretty colorways with the lovely coordinating flowers in there as well, which is brilliant. So if you want to grab hold of all of that, £56 or $74 if you want to grab hold of that one. Right, I want to give you a recap of some of the things that are proving very busy in this show. First up, we've got the magnetic storage sheets here for you, the 3-pack. Now, if you've got the A4 binder, you can get 4 sets of these in there. It'll take 12 sheets in total, $6.29 or $8.99 if you want to grab hold of that one. We've then got the foil press as well. This is proving really busy. Now within the foil press, you get absolutely everything you would expect as standard. So you've got your base station, the platform, the top plate, the metal shim, you've got your cooling mat in there, the tweezers and the finger grips. We're gonna throw some foil in, some foil stamp and cut dies, and some foil stamp dies too, as well as that instruction manual is all in there for you. $89.99 or $125.95, your price there. Those gorgeous foil stamp dies, they're on the show. Now these are brilliant because these give you like loads of foiling. If you want more intricate, more refined ones, then we have those on the website, but these are when you want a real pop of foiling. $38.97 or $44.97. We've also got the stamp and cut dies for you. These are the radiating ones. They're 4 die sets here. You pay for 2, we send you 4, which is awesome. It's a half price deal. $29.98 or $39.90 if you want those. The embossing folders that go alongside the Diorama Aperture collection, but they also work equally well on their own. In here, you've got 4 different embossing folders, set in stone, brick layers, you've got spring forest, and you've got the trellis swirls in there as well. Still proving very popular in this Monday Makers show is the Monday Mega Deal, £18.74. Check out the price, however, in the US. Incredible saving there, $14.96. is your price if you are in the US. So the dollars price is absolutely fantastic. This is going to help you nail all of those storage needs that you might need. You can get a whole host of different things in here. And Craig, I know you've got one of these. In fact, you've got it on the counter over there. They're surprisingly capacious, these, aren't they?
They're what, sorry?
Surprisingly capacious.
Capacious.
Capacious. You get a lot of stuff in them.
Yeah, you do. And trust me, if you have a look on my Instagram and have a look at my one compared to Debbie Robinson's, you're going to think, gosh, Craig's is really neat and tidy.
I think I saw a flock of seagulls fly at Debbie Robinson's the other day. Debbie's is, I mean, I don't know how she even manages to lift it to get it to the car, Craig.
I don't know how she manages to lift it without stuff falling out. Anyway, you know, you know, that's the way she likes to live, so that's absolutely fine. I wouldn't do me. I was like, no. So what we've got with my one is I like to keep my nesting dies. So these are my core selection of nesting dies. I always just have so circles, squares, etc., etc. But then we've got the side panels in here. So these are all Velcro. So if you wanted to have this as one big long part, then you can do. But I've separated it into two. I've my smaller stamping platform. I've got my glue gel that you can see there. I've got my tape runners. I've also got my low-tack tape. Then I've gone right down to the bottom. I've got my poke tools. I've got my hot glue sticks that you can see just there. But then what we've got is along
What's all
here.
those packets did you say there, Craig, on the other side?
What was that,
So
sorry?
all the packets that you've got on the
My
other side. That
nesting
one.
dies.
Ah, your nesting dies.
So
Cool.
I've got like all my core nesting dies just there. So you've seen them ones. So
Beautiful.
that's them. So this is just the core ones that I've got. But then running along here is you've got the little individual straps you can see there. So if I actually, let's take that one out. I've got my foam mat as well from Die Brush. But you know, I've got, you know, pen and pencil. We need that as well. We've got, there's my poke tools at the bottom. But then I've got my waterproof, water brush. I've got my paint brushes. I've got my spritz tool as well. I've got my craft knife. Got my scissors. I've even got a few of my smaller ones. You know how I like my smaller scissors.
That
So
Sharpie there, is that what you do all those signed photos with, Craig?
I wonder. Dan just said that in the ear, and I thought Joe's not going to go there. Yes, he did. There we go.
Oh, I've said we need to get you some signed photos, Craig. I think that I love them. I love them. People are already, Facebook is in meltdown. People wanting a signed photo, Craig.
I've also got my alcohol proof. So obviously I don't have all my ink pads, but because I use my classics, my tri-blend pens quite a lot, you know, either here, if I'm at Create & Craft here in the UK, I have the main colours. I've got my black one somewhere. We might be focusing on the next couple of weeks some of our flower forming. So I've got my wee craft iron, that sits in there. I've got my blending tools just here. I've even got my Gemini Mini, so I keep it in its case and I hold that just into there. I've got my folders, we've got pockets just at the back just there as well. And this one again, you know, you can't just have it flat, but I like to have it all the way open. We've got individual pockets at the front. I don't use mine at the moment, but we've got all these all the way around. You've also got, if I turn that way, we've also got, that is white proof, and it's also very lightly, we've got the Crafter's Companion logo all the way through. And as we said earlier on, it is flowery, it is purple flowery, but I think it works really well when it comes to working for both sexes, you know, male and female. I like the colour of it because obviously it is grey as well. That really helps with it being on trend at the moment, because grey's been on trend for a wee while. There's no sign of it stopping. And, you know, as we always are at Crafter's Companion, we try to be at the head of, you know, trends and techniques and all the different goodies we've got coming up in the near future. But I just love this and I do use it time and time again. Hence, it's got all my key products within this one.
Yeah, and the thing is about it, Craig, that I love is that it's just such great quality. Like all the piping that you've got on here, loads of it is double stitched. It's really, really secure. And the other great thing is if you do need to, I'm not sure why you would because it's going to be so full of stuff, but it does absolutely fold completely flat as well for you, which is absolutely awesome. It's a fantastic tote to have. People rave about them. Go and check out the reviews for it on our website as well, and definitely grab it whilst it's on a 25% off deal, which is absolutely the time to grab hold of it. $18.74 or $14.96 if you want to get your hands on those ones right there. Right, Craig, the embossing folders are really, really busy on their own individually. You're getting 4 in here: set in stone, bricklayers, spring forest, and trellis swirls. Now these, Craig, you can use these because when we first launched the collection, I thought the embossing folders were only to be used with the collection, but actually you're going to be able to use them for absolutely everything, you were telling me.
Of course you can, yeah. So yeah, the design of them are going to complement the Diorama aperture cards, you know, whether you've got the nature feel, you know, you've got the butterflies, maybe the swirls for the birthday ones. It's entirely up to yourself, but these are kind of key designs and ones you're going to use time and time again. All 4 you're going to use time and time again, but Set in stone and brickwork are, certainly for me, are my two favourites, because this is just going to go well with whatever you're crafting. You know, it just works so well, you know, very obviously for your nature, as I was saying earlier on, so your craft cards. But then if you're maybe using them for your kids, your grandkids, you're able to use that brickwork for maybe like the graffiti background, that sort of thing. So they do work well. But then you've also got the spring forest, which of course, that's going to work well. Yes, with this diorama collection. What about your Sarah's signature? You know, all of your different enchanted Christmas collections, maybe then our nature gardens with the peony collection. It's going to work well. So what we're going to do is, let's just run them through our Gemini. They're 6x6, so they're just going to go through your Gemini Junior. They will go through any of your other die cutting machines. What you will just need to do is check the plate combination. If you've got the Gemini within the actual instruction booklet, there is a bit of a step-by-step of some of the key die cut machines out there. If not, then go on our website at crafterscompanion.co.uk or .com or .eu, and there is step-by-steps there as well. So it's what I would say is a standard. There's nothing standard about it, but it's one that is not 3D. It's a standard effect. So Centura Pearl. So I'm just going to just close that over the top. Now it is a non-3D one, which just means it's your two cutting plates. So all that I'm doing is sandwiching them through. And then what that's going to do is obviously that's going to pull up the emboss. Doing it in black again because black stands out. You know, you start to see any areas. So if I then just show you that one, and then if I tip that one forward, what I am just also going to do is look at that one. Now you could even just pop that in a 6x6 frame, Joe. You know, use it as a bit of a home decor, you know, in the backdrop of maybe, you know, your dining rooms, your living rooms, anything like that. But what I'm just going to do is, I'm not going to do it all, I'm just going to do little sections on each one, just so that you can see. Now look at this one. It's going to work well with the Art Deco as well. Although it's not a traditional Art Deco style, it's going to work with all of your different collections that you've maybe got from other companies.
Really well with that Moroccan tile nesting die that we launched a little bit earlier today as well.
It would work really well with that one, absolutely. But then there is that one. So that one is your trellis swirl. So let's bring in the spring forest so you can see this one as well.
Now, if you want to get them individually, you can. They're $4.99 or $6.99, but you've got a great saving, 20% in fact, when you get them all together. So I definitely think it's worth buying them as a bundle and paying that best price, which is awesome. And if you're going as well for the circle aperture, these are going to work brilliantly with that too.
Well, you know, you don't just have to use them straight as like I'm doing them. Yeah, they're 6x6. You maybe just want to emboss something that's 5x5, maybe something smaller. Cut an aperture in first and then run it through your embossing folder. Maybe if you've got, as you were saying earlier on, Joe, your character over the edge. You know, if you've got some of the characters, it's going to work well with the forest effect. But we can see that one just there. And then if I just tip that forward, look at that, very much Halloween style. But instead of doing the brickwork that we done earlier on, why not use this one as well? You know, as well instead. And then again, if I just bring in a bit of the gilding wax, just to show you, just to let you see how substantial the actual embossing is, even although it's not a 3D one. But that just lets you see on that one there. But again, you could be using it on white card, using your water reactive ink pads, anything like that one. Then, my two favourites. No, we shouldn't have favourites, but I do. We're going to go for the stonework on this one. Set in stone. It's exactly the same. It's our embossing folder, and then we're going to just pop this through. What I am going to do with this one is, if you want to have that embossed detail just standing out that little bit more, what you can do is pop in your metal shim and then just pop in our top cutting plate on the top. So what that metal shim does is it just adds that wee bit of extra bite when it comes to the layer combination, and it just pushes that embossing through as well. So this is then going to make it just stand out that wee bit more. Of course, you can use your metal shim with the other folders that I use. I just wanted to do two with and two without the folder.
Cindy Thompson over on YouTube saying, I wanted to purchase an extra foiling platform for my machine. Which one do I need to go for in the US? Oh, that looks beautiful, Craig. It would be, the only one that would pop up on the website is the one that is for your machine. So if you're on the US website, you'll only see stuff that is available to you in the US and is compatible with the US machines. If you're on the UK or the European website, you'll see the stuff for the UK and European machine. So you'll always see the one that you need on the website of your own, which makes sense.
Kadok. There you go. That one, I don't know, maybe you'll probably look at this, Joe, and go, know what you're thinking of. But very Skellington-like as well.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Do you know what it reminds me of? You know crackle paste?
Yeah.
That's what it really reminds me of. Yeah.
It does look like that one, doesn't it? Really does. Now that I've seen that, yeah. So if you like that effect, but maybe you're not into your mixed media as such, maybe you don't want to use any additional paste or that, use this one instead. So that is your set in stone. And then what we're just going to do is let's take our last one, which is the brickwork. And then what we're just going to do, once again, we're going to do exactly the same, just like that we've done. And we'll use the metal shim again, just to show you too. So let's just pop that one through. And I'm just going to fold that one over. And then pop our metal plate in. If you're just tuning in now, you don't need to pop that metal plate in. That just gives that extra wee bit of extra bite when it comes to the embossing. But this is certainly one of them you're going to be using time and time again when it comes to the brickwork. So we're just then going to open this one. So as you can see here as well, how you've got that embossed. And what's just popped into my head, when it comes to many of the collections that we've got that would work for, if you got the Nature's Garden Fairy Garden collection, all 4 of these are going to work so well with that one.
That's a great point, Craig.
Every single one of them. Now, the thing is, all 4 will work for pretty much all of our collections or other collections you've got at home that's not ours, but if any are really going to stand out really well, it's going to be the Fairy Garden. Then there we go, that's all that I'm just going to do with that one just there. But then there we go, that is your brickwork. And again, in case you're wondering, why is he doing it in black? Black is always going to stand out, and any little flaws, anything like that's always going to come out in black. So it's just to show you. But using your craft card, using your glitter card, using your vellum, all these different mediums, you absolutely can be embossing.
Absolutely, it looks fantastic. Make sure you grab them while they're on a great deal as well. $15.50 or $22 if you want to get your hands on those ones there. Right, I want to recap some of the best-selling items in this Monday Makers show. Starting off with the Circle Die collection, which is this one just here. £56 or $74. You've got that main die within there. You've got the 24 sheets of that pad, which you can lay the die over. Or once you've done that, once you've used it, or just to give you a different look and feel, use the 3 interchangeable scenes which go within each one of those shapes. £56 or $74 to get that one there. The foil stamps are proving very popular in this show. These are great because they give you loads of foiling, which I love. You've got the 4 different options in there for you. So you have got thank you. You also have, especially for you, celebrate and happy birthday cake as well. $38.97 or $44.97. Also a half price deal for you on these awesome foil stamp and cut dies. You've got Be Happy just for you, Shine Bright and Love You. $29.98 or $39.90 if you want to get your hands on those. Brilliant value there. The foil press itself is proving busy. You've got that 10% saving on there. You're going to get absolutely everything you need included in the box as standard, including some foil, some stamp and cut dies, and some foil stamp dies as well. $89.99 or $125.95 is your price on that one. Those magnetic storage panels are very busy. These are the larger ones that you've got here. A 3-pack of those, $6.29 or $8.99. Right, Craig, we are going to just have a final recap with you, if it's okay, of the Monday mega deal. I can't believe the dollar price on this is awesome. $14.96, $18.74 if you're here in the UK. The Monday mega deal, though, we only hold the price on the Monday mega deal for 24 hours. It's one of those deals that you need to grab it and snap it up whilst we have it. It is very, very busy on this, Craig. Great for people that are on the go. Maybe you like to craft outside your craft room in front of the TV, maybe you go to workshops or those kind of things. If you don't want a massive tote, something like this, you'll fit a surprising amount of stuff in it.
You will do, absolutely, yeah. Don't think craft as well. What if maybe you're a makeup artist, or think of Christmas and birthdays, you know, your granddaughter, your grandchild, you know, I've got going into the makeup industry, anything like that. Maybe you just want it on your bedroom desk at home. Maybe you like to do other crafts that you want to keep stuff in, you can do as well. But again, as I said earlier on, I like to just pop my core nesting dies within here. I've got some of my pokey tools, so we can see inside, so it's all wipe-proof? It's not wipe-proof. What's that?
Clean.
Wipe clean. There we go. How could I get that word wrong? But you can see just there how you've got that separation just there. You can remove that if you wanted to, but I like to have the 2 compartments. Will fit your Gemini Junior plates in as well. I've got my stamping platform, a small one. It will take all 2 of them. I've got my low tack tape. I've got my tape runners as well as my die brush. We've got all these individual holders along here. So whether it is obviously my pens and pencils, I've got my quilling tool, my scoring tools, I've got my water brush, paintbrush, spritz tool, craft knife, I've got my scissors. I always like to have a couple of the smaller ones because I always use them. But then we've got a couple of the other tools that I like to use. So whether it's flower forming, if you've got a small craft iron, then you can be using that. I like to keep my core ink stamps or my ink pads in there. We've got blending brushes, we've got some of the blending tools. I've even got some of my actual red liner tape. Again, we've got my Gemini Mini that also sits within there if I wanted it to. We've got some of these individual plastic parts at the back there, 2 separate ones. So although I keep my Gemini Mini folders in there, I like to keep just a couple at the side here. When I'm using my sparkle pots, I've got my pipettes just there. If I need to like write little notes to Joe, I've got my pads that I've got that sticky bit on the back. We've got them just there too. So it really is a great hold all just to have, whether it is your crafting things, whether you're on the road where you're crafting. Of course, you know, I know at the moment craft clubs and that really aren't on, but great way to get organised. Whether it's your crafting, whether you want to get sorted, maybe you're like Debbie Robinson and yours is just a total shambles that I personally couldn't live like, then now's your time to get sorted. And I believe I'm going to get a kick from Debbie the next time I see her.
You probably will. Patricia, it says loads of people saying thanks for the show. Love the brick embossing folder, says Michelle. Dita saying thanks, Craig. Great show, great ideas, great demonstrations as well. Yes, it's been a really busy show. A fantastic Monday, in fact, with Debbie and then with Craig. There are there's loads of fabulous shows coming up tomorrow. I'll be back first up with Bernie for the softer side of life. Myself and Bernie will be here for that, and then we're back together again, aren't we, Craig, for the launch party? So something brand new in that, in fact.
We do indeed. So some of you are already expecting Leanne. We've just done a wee bit of a shuffle, so it's me that's on tomorrow. I'm not going to say anything more. I'm just going to let you wait. You've maybe already seen a few sneak peeks, but we do have some new as well, and I cannot wait. Actually, they're just behind me.
Are they? Oh, it's going to be exciting. So yeah, 1 p.m. here in the UK, which is 8 a.m. East Coast for Soft Side Life, our needlecraft show, and then join myself and Craig back here for the launch party tomorrow, 4 p.m. 11 a.m. East Coast, 8 a.m. if you're on the West Coast. Massive thanks to Craig, as always. Big thanks to the team in the gallery, and a big thanks to you guys at home. We'll see you back for another day of fun here tomorrow on Crafters TV. Take care.